Maybe it's just, nahihiya magsabi na, well, first and foremost, hindi naman talaga kayo, ako mismo. Hindi ako makapaniwala na kaya ko yun.
She just came from a long trip, Mr. President.
Sa jet lag, maybe, jet lag ka ba?
Rio to Dubai to Davao.
Ay, are you quite, hindi mo ba? No, it's okay that, ano yan, jet lag na yan?
Sir, are we planning to have a reward system po para sa mga atletang Pinoy natin?
Part of the incentive really. Lalo na yung mga, pardon mo, do not be offended. I hope hindi ako walang nasasaktan. Lalo na yung mga mahirap lang. And they get to work, maybe study and work, and not enough, really, not enough resources to train there almost that yan lang ang gawin mo for 14 years. That's a very tall order for an ordinary human being. So it needs a lot of dedication and a powerful motive. Yan ang wala. Baski sino, after 2-3 years talagang mag-surrender ka. Paano ba to? Is it really a sports for me? Or am I going to transcend something? And these are the guys who transcend yung mga hirap sa buhay.
Thank you, sir.
Training and everything, and yet sa Air Force lang siya. Wala masyadong facility siguro. But given a chance, many others will follow. Ang nakita ko kasi, my observation at 71 years old sa buhay ko, is kung yung lalo na yung mga anak, ang tatay nasa weightlifting. Kung may anak yung 4-3, may isa talaga dyan na papasok ng ganong discipline also. Pag anak ng isang basketball player, star yan, you can be very sure that may isa dyan sa mga anak niyan papasok rin. That's almost a genetic connective.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn.
Okay. Thank you, Eunice. Ayan Melihor of PNA. Okay.
PMS ka na ba? So PMS ka na?
PNA, may. Okay, Michael Flores of Nikkei.
Do not do that.
Sorry.
Why do you have to bend? Really, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn. Sir, I'd like Michael Flores of Nikkei. Sir, I'd like to ask more on your meeting today with Foreign Minister Kishida of Japan. What did you discuss during the meeting, and what were the agreements that you have signed on top of what has already been announced in the past?
No, it was just a verbal dialogue actually, but most of the talks were centered on the continued good relations, the bilateral relations between Japan and the Philippines, and the mutual pledge that we will continue to enhance our relations with Japan, and that they are also ready to extend help in all fields of governance, maybe agriculture, and some other countries have the money already. But like China, for example, there are so many billions of Chinese. They would need the resources of other countries to help feed the nation. Japan may not be able to really develop the line between us now, but there are a lot of Japanese investments here. And I said we would welcome more. We're putting economic zones everywhere in the country, at least in one region. And I assured them that we would accommodate you, and we would be happy if you come in also to help, especially in the employment aspect of our joint efforts. trabaho para sa mga Pilipino, and I would assure them that they can have the profits. And in the coming days, we might be able to fix something in the Constitution. I was against before of selling the lands. I think that is my my stand. But I'm willing to change this 60-40 thing, make it more elaborate, maybe even if it's a half-half thing, as long as there are really, I think, a good investment where I can provide livelihoods for everybody. Yan ang kulang natin. Yeah, especially manufacturing in agricultural areas. Not manufacturing of, because we do not have that. We should start with not the hard metals, but the things that we might be able to export through their investments. Of course, sila lang rin ang may kailangan yan. That is a tat for tat. But we have to improve on the ratio of the business equation between the if you go into a natural resources thing, it's always 40-60, especially in public utilities, public conveyances, and in the exploitation of land.
Earlier this week, former President Ramos flew to Hong Kong to have a so-called Gulf diplomacy and fishing expedition, as he said it, and today you met with Foreign Minister Kishida of Japan. So how does this series of meetings or moves figure in our strategic approach to the South China Sea issue?
Well, we maintain good relations with everybody. China does not come in second. They're all first to us. The treatment is equal, based on mutual respect, and the guarantee that the business will be successful in a way because of government is there, and we give them the assurance that they can recover their investments plus the profits, of course.
Okay. Thank you. Jermelina Lacorte of the Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Let's give time to the spokesman of the left.
Oh, sir. Sir, can I ask about the libingan ng mga about the burial of the former president in
Sabi
the
ko na
libingan?
nga eh.
Sir,
Iyak mo na ako, sana lang. Kamati ang... Papaiyak ako sa iyo, totoo lang. Hindi, may pumasok na. Okay.
Sir, during your campaign, you promised that, you mentioned that you're going to consult with the Marshal of Victims, and then you also said that you're going to hold a plebiscite before deciding on the issue. I'm just wondering what, if this...
Yung burial,
Yeah,
to ask
sa
a
burial.
consensus.
the consensus.
Well, you see, I will have to spend again so many billions. Because it would be like electoral process. You get the sentiment of the Filipino. I don't think that I'm ready to spend billions again for just in the matter of a burial of a president. The law says that it does not even mention mga heroes. It simply says that if you are a soldier, and in another section of the law, there is that the presidents. So that's the law. Alam mo kasi kung ginusto nila, and they were already in power at the time, itong mga yelo, dapat nagpasa sila ng batas na hindi pwedeng ilibing si Marcos when the guy was already in Guam in exile. They should have passed a law prohibiting Marcos, if ever he comes home dead, to be buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. That's a generic title because not everybody there is a hero. Yung iba nag-retire, for the years that he has rendered service to his country, yan, nililibing yan. But it does not mean that he is really a hero in the sense of the true sense of the word. Hindi naman lahat yan na Medal of Valor. There are a few Medal of Valor awardees there, if you talk of heroes. But since the law says a soldier or a president can be buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. Nobody is questioning about his hero. I am not dwelling on his exploits. Kasi sabi nila, wala daw sa records sa congressional, I don't know where that office is. But since when tayo dependent on the records of another country to choose our who will be buried here? Eh sabi, wala bang doon sa record na nanalo siya ng mga medal ito? And so, why? Just because of that, your name does not appear in the United States? You mean to say that I will follow the United States and what the law says here? Ang sa United States, wala daw siyang recorded doon ng mga medalya. Correct. I will admit that. I will assume it to be true. Bakit ako, why should I be dependent on the records of the United States? I am not a state of the United States. Guam and Hawaii are, but not me. Ang Pilipinas says, you need only to be a president and a soldier. Nobody is debating about heroes here. Assuming it to be true na wala siyang medalya or not validated by an American record, does not mean that he is not qualified to be buried there. So what's the objection? I would like to say that forget about the medals. Just focus on whether he's a Filipino, he fought for his country, and is once upon a time the president. That's the law. We cannot go out of the law. Hindi ako makapagdebate, but we cannot go out of the law. That's the law of the land.
Sir, one of the conditions why the former President Ramos allowed his body to be brought back to the Philippines was for his body to be buried in Batak. So what can you say about it, sir?
What condition is that? You cannot amend a law by just a condition given by one person. The statement of a one person cannot be the law. The law is there existing. You can read it 1,000 times and you would still arrive at the conclusion that he is qualified. Even if he is not a hero, he was a soldier. He did not receive the medals, correct, but that is the record of another country. Then why would I, in making a decision, refer to the records of another country? We have long ceased to be the vassal state of the United States. Tapos na yan. It's history. I am dealing now. Mag-plebiscite ka, 99% ng all of the Ilocano race dito sa ating Pilipinas have this sentiment in our hearts. Nasasaktan sila. Tayo, yung mga sa politika, mga yellow, you know very well that my mother was a leader of the yellow movement here. Tayo kasi ang galit natin. But you know, when I become president, I cannot be choosy and follow a sentiment vis-a-vis with the law. I cannot be despotic and everything and not a hero because there are no, the medals do not appear on the record of the United States. And the law, sana ginawa nilang batas na Marcos, because of his historic despotic regime, if that is what they want to tell us, should not be buried sa libingan ng mga bayani. Until and unless you repeal that law, he cannot be buried there. But nothing has been done. Bakit kinalimutan yung elementary procedure na yan? I am a president and I have shown my duty to follow the law, not to follow the sentiments of the political side, to the other side of the fence. You put me a quandary, what would be my basis in denying the burial, you meant to pronounce it, of Marcos sa libingan ng mga bayani. Because then I would be violating the law if I prohibit his burial in the libingan ng mga bayani.
If many people will be against it.
Yes, I said I have my order. I gave it to the spokesman. I said we would allow the protest with the minimum of police officers just manning traffic so that your right to protest will be co-equal of the right of the other people to use the other half of the road so that they can travel and move. And I said, walang military dyan, walang police na anti-riot. And para sa akin, wala na, there's no need to permit. I'll give them a month to, I'll give them half of the streets to protest for 1 month. 2 months if they like. And if they wanted 3 months, bigay ko. Diyan sila. Walang police, of course it will paralyze traffic somewhere. It can cause congestion. Then I'll put the issue to the people of Davao. No, sige, yan ang gusto nila. So I'll give them half of the streets. If they want to protest there for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, go. I'm allowing it. As president of this country, I am allowing it. I'll give it even half a year. Magprotesta sila. Walang military, walang police magsita sa kanila.
Okay. Thank you, Gal. Carla Lim of TV5.
Sino ito siya bago?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Good
Anong
evening.
nangyari kay Mia?
No, sir.
Zamboanga.
She'll be here with you tomorrow, Zamboanga. Ngayon lang.
Sa Buanga ka na, Zain?
Hindi po. For today lang because of the visit of Foreign Minister Kishida.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Parang hapon doon.
sir, I would like to go back on the issue of sports. Congratulations, Ma'am Heidi. Sir, you've mentioned a while ago that we would like to ameliorate our athletes. But looking at the records of the Philippines when it comes to Olympics, lahat ng record natin, individuals po, ang magagaling. But for the past years, it seems like the government is putting so much effort sa mga group games like basketball. So, dahil dito tayo magaling sa individual, are we going to focus more on per people na lang?
Yes, but itong group sports, we are at its best with that kind of discipline. Kasi maliliit pa yung mga bata, tapos kami noon, ang ginagamit lang namin yung daan. We build a makeshift goal doon somewhere, and in andito sa Davao, makita mo, miniligyan ko sila. Pag may kanto dyan, and there's enough space to move around, dyan sila, right at the start, nagtitraining na ang mga bata eh. They love simply sports. The national sports is actually basketball. Now, individual is very hard because kagaya ng weightlifting, you have to search long and hard. In Manila, if you excel in the universities and colleges, you get noticed immediately. So, dyan ka na, kita itong bata na ito promising because she can jump at a distance. Well, itong mga sa probinsya, we sometimes have overlooked na hindi natin mga talents natin dyan because the recognition is focused only or most of the time, focus dyan sa Manila. So, yan, tama yan, we go one for Mindanao, and then another one for Negros, Oriental, Occidental. Dumaguete is in Oriental, and vegan. So, doon, ang focusing natin, no need to really stare at Manila because mismo ang eskwelahan nila will take notice of that. At kung rising star ka, you will have the attention maybe, and I mean you get the attention, and somebody there would always invite you to enter this kind of discipline and train them. Doon sa probinsya wala tayong not even focusing. Kung meron man yung mga athletic meets sa mga eskwelahan, pero it does not provide a good standard because hindi naman alam how they were trained and how hard was the rigorous training has been. And I said, makakita pa ba tayo ng iba? And also to equalize the opportunities of the Filipino athletes all over the country. Walang question sa Manila. No need to put up another facility there. The school itself, or some people there, somehow, would get notice of a talent when there is one.
So, sir, this is going to be the job of the LGUs na?
LGUs and the Philippine Sports Commission. They would start to look for ways, and they would get the attention of one in any place somehow because this will lalabas ito ng mga meet yung mga athletics. But then again, kung nag-excellence siya at one point in his time and there is really no training behind, somehow hindi kumpleto ho. We have to train hard.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Walang anuman po.
Ruth Palo, Lumandan from RGMA.
Kay Miss Hidilyn, good morning, President. Miss Hidilyn. Yung 7 million na napanalunan niyo at binigay ni President, saan niyo po gagamitin?
Plano kong bumili ng lupa sa site ng bahay namin. Tapos patayuan ko din ng weightlifting gym. Yun po. Yung iba, wala pa pong plano.
Mukhang BIR ang tatanong dito sa atin. Can you move on to another question, please?
Okay. Kay Sir Butch, sir, yung sa construction ng facilities para sa Negros at sa Zamboanga, may timeline tayo doon on how much budget?
Alam mo, the mayor, the president, while he's very generous, he is also very frugal. So what we do now, we're limited income. There are many sports facilities of both government and private. Magmumuha lang kami doon. We'll buy all those materials, collaborate with local government, with DUTERTE, and put up the training center. So we can have a grassroots sports program. But what is very vital in this grassroots sports program, we will have an institute of sports where it is a source of coaches education, sports sciences, sports psychology, sports nutrition. Nawala tayo, naiiwanan na tayo. So, may tanong pa nga, ang problema doon ng Philippine sports pera, hindi lang, rich or poor country has a problem of money. But if you have a master plan, then from there, you focus on few sports because we have limited income. Then, go to the sports where the Filipino will excel. With lifting, boxing, archery, cycling, and others, then there is a big chance of winning in the Olympics. But at any rate, the Constitution of the Philippines cited that it is the duty of the state to focus on the vibrant citizenship so that we can have healthy citizens. From there, we can have formation, discipline, character formation. Bonus na lang yan sina Hidilyn. That's why, kung wala tayong grassroots sports program, bara-bara lang, wala talaga mangyayari. So, we will take advantage of the leadership of President Duterte that before mag-Pasko, we can have that Institute of Sports. Naiiwanan tayo sa buong Asia eh. Wala tayong eskwela, wala. Kasi look at our boxers, we were very good. Pero somehow, somewhere, nagkukulang yon. And ang prescription ng European sports science. So, we are getting Filipinos who excel in Hong Kong, na galing Davao sa Pilipinas. Nakaproduce siya, Mr. President, ng gold sa Olympics sa Hong Kong. So kukunin natin siya. Hindi kailangan foreigner eh. We have Filipinos have talent. I-pull natin yan sa Ultra, rehab the Rizal Memorial, and save those money that we save for Olympic training, international training, buy equipment to put up in the training center. We can have 14 training center all over the country, and we have people assigned there, collaborate with local government. Dadami yung talento, dadami yung Hidilyn Diaz. So I'm very confident on this because during our time when I was in Davao City, the president sent me to Australia. When I became chairman, I traveled many countries and went to the institute. So getting all these things, the Philippines will really put up that Institute of Sports. It's not about money, because if we have a good master plan, the private corporation will help us. And I can see that within these 4 years to 6 years, we'll be leaving a legacy in Philippine sports.
Okay, lastly, Sir Butch, matagal na itong concern. Speaking of talents din pala, are you not going to, or do you have plans to tap itong mga lumad? Kasi mabilis na itong tumakbo. At saka itong mga badyaw.
Ganito yan. Ang Philippine sports, hindi na, there are areas,
Really, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn. Sir, I'd like Mikael Flores of Nikkei. Sir, I'd like to ask more on your meeting today with Foreign Minister Kishida of Japan. What did you discuss during the meeting, and what were the agreements that you have signed on top of what has already been announced in the past?
No, it was just a verbal dialogue actually, but most of the talks were centered on the continued good relations, the bilateral relations between Japan and the Philippines, and the mutual pledge that we will continue to enhance our relations with Japan, and that they are also ready to extend. Kung may anak yung 4, 3, may isa talaga dyan na papasok ng ganong discipline also. Pag anak ng isang basketball player, star yan, you can be very sure that maisa dyan sa mga anak niyan papasok rin. That's almost a genetic connective.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn.
Okay. Thank you, Eunice. Ayan Melihor of PNA. Okay.
PMS ka na ba? So PMS ka na?
PNA, Mayor.
Ah,
Okay. Michael Flores of Nikkei.
do not do that.
Sorry.
Why do you have to bend? Reminder almost that yan lang ang gawin mo for 14 years. That's a very tall order for an ordinary human being. So it needs a lot of dedication and a powerful motive. Yan ang wala. Baski sino, after 2-3 years talagang mag-surrender ka. Paano ba to? Is it really a sports for me? Or am I going to transcend something? And these are the guys who transcend yung mga hirap sa buhay.
Thank you, sir.
Training and everything, and yet sa Air Force lang siya. Wala masyadong facility siguro. But given a chance, many others will follow. Ang nakita ko kasi, my observation at 71 years old sa buhay ko, is kung yung lalo na yung mga anak ang tatay nasa weightlifting, help in all fields of governance, maybe agriculture and but some other countries have the money already, but like China, for example, there are so many billions of Chinese. They would need the resources of other countries to help feed the nation. Japan may not be able to really develop the line between us now, but there are a lot of Japanese investments here. And I said we would welcome more. We're putting economic zones everywhere in the country, at least in one region. Maybe it's just nahihiya magsabi na, well, first and foremost, hindi naman talaga kayo, ako mismo, hindi ako makapaniwala na kaya ko yun.
She just came from a long trip, Mr. President.
Sa jet lag, maybe jet lag ka ba?
Rio to Dubai to Davao.
Ay,
No.
are you quite, hindi mo ba no, it's okay that, ano yan, jet lag na yan?
Sir, are we planning to have a reward system po para sa mga atletang Pinoy natin?
Part of the incentive really, lalo na yung mga, pardon mo, do not be offended, I hope, hindi ako walang nasasaktan. Ilan na yung mga mahirap lang. And they get to work, maybe study and work, and not enough, really, not enough resources to train.